Greetings, Commanders. Welcome back to the Fuel Scoop. This is Commander Minico. All right, today we find ourselves in the Kwatee system. It's Kwatee system, Kwatee. I am at the Hershoff Gateway, which is in the system because it has a Vista Genomics, and I dumped off a bunch of biological data from the last two systems, about 140 million credits worth. All right, so in this system, we're going to have 3 planets to look at. There'll be 2 bacterium planets and then 1 of our typical moons that has 6 or 7 or 8 biological samples. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map here. Look where we're at. All right, so say we're here. We are at Hershoff. The 2 bacterium planets are up here. We've got Kwatee ABC1 and Kwatee ABC2. Both of these will just have bacterium. See, 1 organic, should be bacterium. And this one here, 1 organic, which will be bacterium. I've already visited the planets. I just haven't scanned them. That's why they don't show up here. And then the planet we'll actually be getting our lion's share from will be Kwatee C6. And that will hold how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 organics. All right, well, let's jump on over there and get a look at the lay of the land. And I'll grab a couple of samples as usual, and you guys can stick with me, or you can jet on out and finish the rest on your own. Today's cocktail is very simple. I'm still under the weather. The junior commanders were all sick and out of school for most of the week with this flu. So keeping it simple today with a little Jack and Coke.
You are clear of station restrictions. We hope to see you again, Commander.
So not going to waste any time checking out these 2. You already know it's just bacterium. That one just fly over the surface till you see a patch, land, scan it, and fly around. On these bacterium-only planets, sometimes it's going to be really difficult to spot, and not always worth it to head out and try and do the whole thing on foot. All right, so let's just head straight over to Kwatee C6. System, I think the economics was something like 19 jumps. It was 200 something light years. Then when I went to quickest route, I made it here in 3 jumps. Super happy. I may not need to dip into that Caspian as much as I thought. This Mandalay, even unengineered, is pretty fantastic. Kwatee C6 is planet C6. Let's take a look at what we've got here in total. bacterium, cactoida, Sliphus, concha, fungoida, stratum, tussock. See, I'm always putting ia on the end of everything, like fungoidia, and it's fungoida. All right, cool. Let's go down and take a look at the topography. You know, the last planet that I was at had this great big huge crater. You know, I ended the video and I went in and you know, grabbed the last like 2 or 3 that I didn't put on the video, and this huge crater had all this great stuff in it.
Orbital flight engaged.
How much stuff do we have? How close is it? Sleight of hand. There you go. Don't have to go very far for that. Oh, good. Alright, you got your cactoida and your fungoida. All in this one spot. I had all my graphic settings just perfect, and then I had to go and rearrange my system again. Incidentally, my Jack and Coke, I might have a Dayquil chaser. I'm not going to confirm that, nor do I condone the mixing of such things, but if I were to be drinking Dayquil after Jack and Coke, well, we feel justified. Look at that. Alright, do we want to get that out of the way? Or the easy ones? Okay, well, I don't know. It's generally a good idea or not. Last planet I was on, it was so hard to find. There's this bacterium patch, I landed right on it. Oh, good. Okay, that was a good decision. Yeah, I landed right on it, and then nothing for miles. And then I was surrounded by everything else. So I gave up and just said, okay, I picked up everything in the crater. Then I went back and got back the bacterium patch and flew around and found the other 2 samples. But yeah, if you've got everything around you, you know, but you've picked that one thing, it's not going to give you anything else, just give up the ghost. You know, get as much of your list as you can, and then go back and waste your time with the tough ones later. Wow. See, now this is how it should be. I don't mind getting 3 samples, but don't make me go 500 miles between samples. You know, let's face it, I mean, once you've scanned yourself about 5 planets, this becomes pretty mundane, so I think it would behoove FDev to kind of make it a little easier on us. Even if you made the exobiology a little less profitable, it'd definitely be nice just to be able to sit down, grab yourself, your stuff quick, and then zip on to the next one, because that's what we exobiologists do. We don't hang around very long. We come to get what we need and we get out. That Kwatee and that fungoida. Because I know my junior commanders are going to be busting down my door any minute. There you are, sweetheart. Alright. Hopefully this will be in the bag. Any else? Yeah, any else. Anyone else get that bad flu that went around? It was bad. My junior commanders, they generally they'll have a day or two, you know, some high fevers, you know, 102, 103, maybe even a quick dip into 104. Take their medicine, goes back down to the 90s, hangs there for 2, 4, 6 hours, and then starts going up again. This one was crazy. I couldn't get anyone below 101 for like 3 days, and they would regularly hit 104, 105. You know, with that, you got to take them to the emergency room, but emergency room is like, look, there's no infection, it's just the flu. Just got to keep pumping them full of drugs. And, you know, I will go through, generally with 3 kids getting sick, I will go through a bottle of ibuprofen. Usually it'll take us 2 or 3 sicknesses. This time I was going through a bottle a day between the 3 of them. It was bad. Wow, so we have just a ton of biologics, and that always messes with my frame rates bad. Oh, that's all fungoida over there. I just need 1 cactoida and then we can loop back around. Got the anti-aliasing set to balance because the performance is just way too snowy. I mean, this is snowy enough as it is. I found generally with the settings I have now, you know, on a planet where everything's pretty well evenly spaced out, I get some decent gameplay. It's not so herky-jerky. On stations, though, you know, that, boy, I'll tell you, it's just about nothing you can do on stations. If you want to test out, you know, how demanding your settings are, just stop off at a station. It's like the most graphically demanding thing. Oh, there you are. I saw you. Got a little prick. Oh, there's a ship right out there. Seems the ship was more over in that direction. Alright. So let's get this fungoid out of the way, and then I'll go ahead and probably stop the video. Actually, I've been pretty good about not talking long enough on this one. Wow. Yeah, that is what's taken up a lot of my graphics performance. And you know, it really shouldn't. I mean, like, this isn't animated. I think this is just old, poor code. You know, then instead of faking it, it's showing you each instance. Not even instance. These are each individual models. I am a big fan of doing the whole Elite Dangerous 2 thing. I know I'd probably definitely have to get a new system if they were to update the engine and just rebuild it all. But boy, this is old code right here. Ooh, look at that. They're like transparent against the sun. Wow, that's something I never noticed before. Cool. Kwatee, Kwatee, and fungoid. You know, I had like everything perfect because I had switched to CacheOS, and then I had to reinstall CacheOS because I was using the Grub bootloader, and with the Grub bootloader, which I prefer, you're not able to use the snapshot system in case something goes wrong. So I switched to Lamine, which was great. Now everything worked fantastically, but Lamine really super basic, kind of took over. It's not friendly at all to multi-boot systems, and so I got rid of that, and I went back to Grub and was going to install Timeshift as my backup. But after doing that, I found out that the snapshot is so integrated into CacheOS that you can't just install Timeshift. You've got to go in and dig out the snapshot, and you've got to install the Timeshift, and it's just there's so many hoops to go over. So I actually was thinking, well, since I don't really, plan on doing multi-boot on this thing in the future, because Cache is about the only thing it's going to be able to run, why don't I just go ahead and go back to Lamine? But then I was like, I just installed it. I've got all the settings working. Do I want to do this like a third time? And I thought, no, at least not right now. So I will, perhaps at another time, give it its final install of Cache and just say this is going to be a Cache machine for years. I still can run Windows. I have to go into the BIOS and I have to change something, and but that'll be Windows 10, which I won't be using online here in a year because it won't get the updates. But it's just still handy to have. There's a few little programs I like to use in Windows that I don't need the internet for, and I'm just, as far as Windows being a daily driver for me, I'm done with. Absolutely 100% finished. I like my operating system to not spit ads at me every 5 seconds. I like it to be quick, responsive. And Linux does that perfectly for me. Okay, Commanders, have fun. Go out, make oodles of cash. This is Commander Minico, nearly signing out, but not before I ask for a like, a subscribe, and a notification. I'm getting this one out quicker than I normally do. I think the other one is about 5 days old, and it's doing really well. But again, it could be 5 days, could be 2 days, could be 2 weeks. You know how it is with 3 kids and working all the time. So yeah, if you want to get those notifications that are going to come in out of the blue, make sure that you're hitting that notification bell. It can be a lot easier to find my stuff. You check every day, it's probably going to drive you nuts. So hit that notification bell. And with that, Commanders, go out there, make a ton of cash. This is Commander Minico signing out.